Today we submitted locally 9 candidates for November's ballot all across Tazewell and Peoria County as well. We also filed for 2 state rep candidates. You're going to hear from one today. Ken Allison in the 88th District will take on Keith Sommer, who's a 21-year incumbent. And we also will have Chad Grimm, who you're going to hear from today, who's taking on Jahan Gordon Booth here in the 92nd District. Libertarian Party had a historic situation happen this year with COVID-19. Generally speaking, what we have to do is we have to file over 25,000 signatures just to get our candidates, our statewide candidates on the ballot. It's about 10,000 for House of Representatives, and then about 5,000, anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 for state rep. And then even county board can be upwards of 1,000. So Illinois is 49th out of 50 of the most ballot access restrictive states in the country. And so that's going from there, you can understand why there's such a limited chance for third parties to get on the ballot. So when COVID-19 happened, we realized that those ballot access requirements are going to be very difficult to obtain. So we asked the governor for relief, we asked the legislature for relief, and they did what they do best, and that's nothing. So we sued the governor, and we asked him, we told him that this was unfair, this was limiting our voice, and we won. And the court order gave us relief to a 10% of the original requirement. It allowed us to get electronic signatures on the ballot, so we could receive them electronically. And it also gave us the ability to not have to notarize the petition. So that changed the game for us. And really what we decided at that point is if we weren't going to take the opportunity to do this now, there would never be a better opportunity. So this is absolutely historic. This is a huge chance for us to take to really take on the status quo and the Democrats and Republicans. And I couldn't be more proud of the people that stood up. We are liberty. We are everything that is what most people are in this community. You know, most people are not left, they're not right, they're somewhere in the middle, and that's the libertarians. We're fiscal conservatives, and we believe in individual liberty to the maximum extent. So today, I have a good friend here with me. He is a champion for liberty. He's run for governor. He ran for governor in 2014. He also has run for U.S. Congress against Jahan Gordon Booth, who actually sent her lawyers to get him knocked off of the ballot. She'll probably do that again because they don't want competition, because they're scared, and I understand that they should be because we offer real choice on the ballot. But I am so proud of him. He's a great man. He is one of my best friends in the world, and I can't wait to just get behind him, and I can't wait to introduce the 92nd District to the next 92nd District State Representative Chad Grimm.
Donnie, thank you. Wow. All right. So we talked a little bit about ballot access. That's good. That's good. That's one of the reasons why we're here. It's filing day. So we all did the trip down to Springfield, and that was great. This specific, I guess I'll just start from the beginning, probably back in February. You know, if somebody would have came to me in February and said, Chad, are you going to be running for office this year? I would have said no. It was nowhere on my radar. But at a certain point, when you see the state of your state decline and when you see very weak leadership, at somewhere as a citizen you're obligated to get up and help, you know, in any way that you can. And this is a state legislator race, and it's very important. That being said, I'm going to have a lot of ideas I'm going to bring to the table. But we need to make sure that this liberty movement spreads across the entire state, because at the end of the day, we're all at the state legislator level. There's so many of us. We're a leg on a millipede, you know. So it's going to take a lot of working together to get certain things done. In 2012, one of the things that drew me to this race is in 2012, I attempted to run. Some say ran, some say attempted. I don't know what the verbiage should be, but. Attempted to run against this same incumbent, Jahan Gordon Booth, and she threw me from a ballot. She also went as far as to put plants inside my campaign so that we could be thrown off of a ballot. She hasn't had competition in 10 years. Since 2010, she has not had any opposition on the ballot. That's problematic for a couple of reasons. One of them, she was elected, if I'm not mistaken, in 2008, which puts her at 12 years. And I also am a supporter of term limits, and I think 12 years is enough anyway. So we did everything in our power this time. We have the signatures. They are valid. We will be on the ballot, and we will win in November. And a couple of the things that I'd like to address, I'm not going to give my whole platform here. You can go to Grimm for State Rep on Facebook, and we're in the process of launching a website as well. But for now, it's Grimm for State Rep on Facebook, and you can see a list of all my platforms. But one thing that I think needs to be addressed is we need to ensure, and I kind of believe that this already exists, but we're not doing anything about it. We need to ensure that the language is clear in the terms of what a governor or an executive of any level can do in regard to an order. It appears to be pretty clear, 30 days, right? And if we want to extend it, then you have to go back to the legislator and you got to call a vote, and it needs to go through the proper channels in order to make it a law. Okay, well, here we are now. That 30 days was up way more than 30 days ago, and we're still seem to be under some type of a lockdown. What I want to be clear on is I do intend to win in November, but I will start now and say that if people reach out to my campaign, if we decide to go backwards in this lockdown, I am about 95% sure that I have secured a local law office, a law office that will help businesses out pro bono to make sure that they understand that the language is there is no shutdown. There is no shutdown, there is no order. And another thing that I take a little bit of a personal issue with is my opponent, Jahan Gordon Booth, was a co-sponsor, if not the sponsor, of the marijuana bill that, as of January 1st, made marijuana legal in the state of Illinois. Well, that's great, but leave it to the Democrats to, well, how do I say this? Let's just say they screwed up a good thing, okay? Basically, they've taxed it to the point where the black market is still alive, and the communities that she claims to care about are still subject to arrest in a lot of situations because they simply can't afford the 30+% tax on marijuana products. I think we need to rein that back to a more common sense, even though I'm not a big fan of taxes at all. I think 6.5 would be a lot better than 30-some-odd%. So that's something that we need to look toward as well.